Hello and welcome to a review of the LEGO Friends set, The Apartments. It was released in the year 2021 and at the time of this recording, and it retails for $150, so on the pricier end of the LEGO sets, though not as much as like the Daily Bugle or the Millennium Falcon, but still a lot for what is essentially a toy. However, I think it is worth it, spoiler alert, especially if you're a Friends fan. I think that this set is great. Lots of little details and references. I do have a few little nitpicks, but it's nothing that's going to, squander my opinion or make me say that this is not worth it, because honestly, Friends fan or not, this is a really good set. So let's grab our minifigures and let's throw them into the set. Something's not right. Let me just fix this really quick. So this is Chandler and Joey's apartment, and of the two, this one's definitely my favorite. The first one, or Monica's apartment, is more iconic, and it's more what Friends is all about. It's where all the main series staples take place, like the quiz show and everything. That's the apartment. But what I like about this one is just the vast more amount of space. And I guess you could say that's because the other one is filled with more stuff, more references, but honestly, I just prefer this one just because there's a lot more room, a lot more things you can do in here, pose figures and all that. So let's just take a look at some of the references that are in here. So over here on the far right side, we have a cork board, or a sticky board, tack board. And the two references on here are Emily, obviously, and someone named AW, and I cannot for the life of me remember what AW stands for. I don't believe it says anything in the instruction booklet. In fact, I know it doesn't say anything in the instruction booklet about what that is. But Emily is obviously Ross's one-time love affair, if you want to put it like that. And then we have this book, which is a reference to season 4, I believe, and it is the Encyclopedia V volume that Joey buys when the whole entire apartment gets robbed, and it just clips on there right into the wall, which is kind of cool. It's a little table. Then we have one of the many foosball tables that the guys have. I believe this is one of the ones that breaks, that they accidentally break over an argument. I don't believe this is the last one that they have, but it could be. I'm not entirely sure. Then just to zoom in out here a little bit, we have the canoe that the guys have once they get robbed, mentioning that letter V volume. And there's 2 paddles in there, so you can recreate that scene. And then over here on the actual door, we have the best part of this, or well, maybe not the best part, a really cool part of the set, but one of the worst parts of the set. So there's a sticker on the door, and if you've watched the show, you know that they have many different phrases and stuff written on there for each episode. Sometimes it reflects the plot, what's going on, sometimes it's just a gag. But what's cool is that it comes with 3 stickers, and this is the one that I put on. It says "want to" and this cup of coffee. I figured that's just generic enough where I can leave it on there and it can fit with anything. However, this set comes with 2 extra stickers, one that says "why" and one that says "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I forget where "why" is from, but the "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry" is when Chandler not sleeps with, kisses. Oh my god, what's her name? It's not Judy. It's the big love interest of that whole Joey Chandler thing. What is her name? But he sleeps with her anyway. Or no, sleeps with her, kisses her, jeez. And, well, it's good. I mean, it's cool that they give you the stickers, but they don't give you multiple doors. Now, what you can do is put them on these doors on the back side because it would fit there, but the instruction booklet doesn't say to do that. So really, it's pretty much just a one and done deal with these. I'm not a super big fan of that. Kind of would have preferred if they just included a couple extra doors, considering that this set is like $150. Not the biggest deal breaker, but it is easily the worst part of the set that you can't really completed. You have to choose. Let me know if my choice was good. I figured it was generic enough and not specific enough. Again, I'm not sure what the Y is from. It might not be. No, it has to be from something. I mean, come on, it has to be something. Next, we're going to move on to the kitchen area. We got a little portrait of Manhattan. You can see their fridge. Classic fridge that Joey's always getting food out of, other than Monica's. Some little doodads at the top, drinks, snacks would be it. This really cool little stove, sink set, and the 2 microwaves that they have, complete with a little cup. Then on the table here we have a little milk carton. That could be referencing 2 things. It's either when Joey is the spokesperson for that milk, what is the milk spout thing, or when he tries to chug the gallon of milk. Considering it's a carton, willing to think the latter, but anyway. Let's get on to our first minifigure here. Here is Chandler Muriel Bing, based off of his appearance in Season 4, Episode 2, the instruction booklet said. I don't know particularly what the ticket is for. The only ticket I know, and of course many Friends fans know, is the one with Yemen. The one where he goes to Yemen. So I suppose you could pretend that that's that, or one of the sports tickets he has. You know, they go to a lot of sports games in the series. But he does sport a different face from the Central Perk set and a different haircut. Oh, no, it's the same haircut. My apologies. There he is laughing, different facial expression. It's really good. Works for Chandler. It looks a little cartoony, kind of like the Harry Potter style of Legos, but still works really good nonetheless. And that is Chandler in his little ticket accessory. Can I put it on? Yes, I can. Oops. Moving on, what's nice, this set has a chicken and a duck, obviously referencing the chicken and the duck. What I don't like about this section, though, are the little seats here. I know this isn't meant to be played with, per se, but it really is awkward how small the counter is and how big the seats are, and if you try and sit a character there, it just looks kind of awkward. Moving to the back, we have Janice, who is our next minifigure. And here is Janice Van Lippenstein, something. I believe it's a mid-series look. Let me look at the instruction book again. Hosenstein. And here we have Janice Hopenlubenstein. I forget, she's got like a really crazy last name they reveal in the last season. But she is based off of Season 7, Episode 7. You know, not a really specific Janice episode. You know, my favorite Janice episode is Yemen. Of course, it's Yemen. But so this is a really good likeness to the actress. Her accessory is a little pink bag. Works well enough for Janice. She's got like this really nice leopard print shirt. It looks enough like the character. The hairpiece works really well. There's the backside, and there's her other facial expression. But both facial expressions are great. She's doing her 2 classic, I guess, catchphrases. One of them's a catchphrase. She's laughing, you know, the really nasally, high-pitched laugh. Then in this one, obviously, she's saying, "Oh my God!" And this figure is exclusive to the set, much like how Gunther was exclusive to Central Perk. So over here we have the yellow couch that Ross and Rachel conceive Emma on, as well as the pizza, obviously because it's Joey's apartment too, and a little Lego newspaper. I know this is the classic Lego news. Then we have the dog, the classic dog that Joey buys when he's rich on Days of Our Lives. And on the back, another poster, another one of those weird French posters that are just everywhere in Friends. Then the door to Chandler's bedroom. Then on the TV, we have Dr. Drake Ramoray on Days of Our Lives in this really cool old-style cabinet with 2 speakers on the side, which is really cool. Then lastly, the door to Joey's room and a little, I guess, bodybuilding poster. Not entirely sure. This will also bring us to our last minifigure for this room, which is Joey. Oops. Joey. Here is Joey Tribbiani, based off of my favorite episode of the series, the one where no one's ready. I know that one off the top of my head. He is wearing all of Chandler's clothes, or he would be if he wasn't going commando, proceed to do lunges. It's the same face as the Central Perk figure. Really nice detailing on all of Chandler's clothes. No dual leg printing, which is a little disappointing, but he still looks great. Same back facial expression. I believe that's Superman, Lego Superman's face. The only accessory, or the only quote-unquote, accessory he has, I mean, I guess you could just say, it's so hard to do this one-handed, I guess you could say it's the scarf, but, you know, I don't really consider that to be an accessory. A little disappointing, but, you know, there's enough neat stuff in the apartment, you know, like the pizza box, where you could just say that that's his accessory. Now, the only quote-unquote play feature that this has is, or at least in this room, is the reclining chairs. So if you remember the famous scene, they finally get their new recliners, and then boom, boom, all the way back. It's cool, they're in sync. There's a little mechanism that runs through. It's got a little beer bottle, I'm presuming. And much like the Central Perk set, you can pull out the carpet in the middle. Really no reason to. You can't swap anything out. Can't swap, you know, put the recliners in the other room. Doesn't match the size. But it's pretty neat. And again, this is my favorite room of the three, mainly just because of the space. And then here is just a close-up of the chick, duck, and dog. The dog is not supposed to come out, but I thought it'd be neat just to show it. No face printing on it, which is a little disappointing, but you know, you look at this, you know it's a friend set, you know what it is. Hallway, again, a lot of classic scenes happen here, but there just really isn't much. There's no stairwell connecting it. There's a little heat thingy, what do you call those? Something. Window sticker, and then obviously it connects at the bottom here. Not hard connect, it smooth connects to it. On the other side there, and the only episode reference here, you know, the one episode you probably would want to reference is the one with the cheesecake, where Chandler and Rachel fight over cheesecake, and then Joey pulls out the spoon and they start eating it and it falls on the floor. Other than that, I mean, this is fine, it serves its purpose. Just, you know, if I was going to improve this set, maybe a stairwell here, like the impression of stairs going up or down might have been good, but I mean, it's fine, it works. And now here we have the main piece, the piece people are really going to be buying this set for, especially if you want to recreate classic scenes from the show, is Monica Geller's apartment, or Monica and Chandler's apartment, or Monica and Rachel's apartment, or Monica and Phoebe's apartment, or the one apartment of their grandma's, or the one where Ross was a dancer here for a summer. So here we have the living room area, so many little details, references. What's weird is that they have this coffee table, and I don't like the build for this. It's very flimsy, as you can see, and then the two pieces go sliding, but there is a little notepad on there. Other than that, though, there's obviously the newspaper again, beer bottle, teacup. Those are all placed in with studs. I'll pull this out in a moment and show you the whole thing. There we have the door to Rachel's bedroom. And speaking of Rachel, here is Rachel Karen Green. I remember that. This is a different figure, or different face rather, to the one in the Central Perk set. This is based off of that scene where she has the pigeon enters the apartment, so she's got to put the pan on and everything. Classic scene. She does have leg printing all around, well, except for the back, obviously. But you know, it looks really nice, the skirt piece and everything. Her accessory is a cup of coffee, which makes sense given the time, the episode. I believe that was a season 2 episode. And then on the back, she has a nice smiling face, in contrast to this sort of like cheeky smirk. Oop. Here we have the main little sitting area for all the friends, and there is not enough room for all of them to sit, unless you remove these pillows, which are actually just stuck on there with one of those floating pieces, you know, for like Moaning Myrtle and all of them. The builds for this set, as I mentioned briefly, are all really good, with the exception of this. But this is really hard to pull out, because if you pull this, it'll start to fly out. You pull this, comes off easy. Not going to try with that. But regardless, this is a nice little impression. You know, you're going to be seeing it like this from the show. You get a little lamp. cool pillow impression, seat, little thing, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, this looks great. And oops, and this keeps falling off. You can get a better look at how it fits in there. Then all the way on the side we have a little table with a lamp for writing. I don't believe they ever used that. We have a little corner table over there, stickers with a happy and sad mask, Monica's room. This really nice build with the curtains here. It just sort of sits on there, and the curtain build is really nice. Same with the window. And then hiding in the corner here we have a classic Ross. Here is Ross something Geller. I can't really remember his middle name. I want to say David, but David Schwimmer's the actor. I don't think they would do that. This is based off of the season 5 episode. What is it, the one with all the resolutions where he wants to try and do something new every day, and he buys leather pants because he's always wanted it, and his accessory is the cream or the powder he puts on that goes horribly wrong. If you have not seen that episode, it's classic wacky Ross. Again, his face is different from the Central Perk Ross. Here's the back of the torso, and there is his face. Both of these are very accurate for this figure, and the fact that he's not smiling or anything is fine, especially because we got the other Ross, which is. So here is Ross, David Geller, I guess. With him out of the way, we can look into Monica's messy closet. There is a lot in there. There's a globe, some unused boxes, a step stool, just tons of crud put in there. You can't really, you can remove it. It's just a pain to get it back in. Let's check out the back side. Right in the corner over here we have a little, I believe that's for movie sets. Obviously this is a set because it includes the lights and everything. It's supposed to be an impression of a set, but I believe that's a smoke detector or some type of fire safety. But then we have the cat from one of the early episodes, the one with the blackout, that jumps on Ross when he's about to ask Rachel out. And this little balcony is really cool. There's not really enough space for anyone or anything back here. There's enough. It's 3 studs wide. So you can recreate some scenes in here, but not much, and there is no way for the minifigures to actually enter through the window, which is fine. I'm not expecting them to. That'd be really, you'd have to widen a lot here to get that done, but it's fine. And I really like the hot dog pieces here to give the impression of the, what do you call that? What is that called? Not a catwalk. Fire escape. That's it. And moving right along, we have the bathroom door. Again, no bathroom. Really nice light fixture with a table with a little flower. Then we have this beam, and I believe that they removed this beam right here when they were actually filming the show because it was getting in the way of a lot of shots. As it is now for me, but this is the place where Monica banged Ben's head. I'm going to see if I can actually pull this up. You can. Oh wow, it actually comes off really nice. You can see a little bit of the build there. Now we have her fridge. I believe it's the same fridge build as before. What I love about this set is just the fine detail of everything. I don't even care if it's accurate to the show or not. Just look at her kitchen. Look at all the little details crammed in there, the little spaces and holes implying that she's been using the kitchen utensils and everything. It's just beautiful. Here we have the kitchen table, and again, as with the seats in the guy's apartment, this is a little oversized, but it works. Not much you could really do about that, I suppose. And speaking of Monica in her kitchen, here is Monica, unnamed middle name Bing/Geller, and I know she doesn't have a middle name because that's a thing they never quite say. The closest is Folula that Phoebe makes up, but that's obviously not it. So this is Monica based off of the episode where she's making the cookies. I believe that's a Christmas episode from season 7 or 6, maybe even 8 or 9. It's a later season one. Her face is the same as before in the Central Perk set. It works, it's good. Her hair piece is different, and it really is good for the late season Monica. Her accessory is a whisk, again, because she's in an apron, and this is a really good figure. I feel like they knocked it out of the park with both Monica figures. Just because you can use this figure in so many different scenes. It doesn't just have to be that, you know, she could be baking or whatever, and then you have the classic Monica. So honestly, really well done. This might be my favorite figure of the bunch. Moving on, there is a little carton of orange juice, a really cool sink. And you just look at the impression down there of a little cabinet. Pizza, so you can recreate the Joey special in the apartment with the 2 pizzas. Just a little more detail there. I forgot to mention this in Guy's apartment, but there is a, that's where they call in the buzzer, you know, to let people in the apartment. Then we have a little ship painting, and Phoebe Buffay. Last minifigure in this set is Phoebe something Buffay. She's based not off of like a super popular specific episode that features Phoebe. It's just one where she's living with Rachel, you know. It gets a better likeness to Phoebe than the other Phoebe figure. They have the same head, I just think that this hair works way better. She comes with a paintbrush, obviously because she's artsy, painting. Again, I don't think that's a specific reference. But there is the back of her torso and the back of her head. And then lastly, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but the classic iconic frame and the door that opens. Now here are some extra accessories that come with the apartment. This is, oh my god, Gladys, that's her name. The painting or piece of art Phoebe made. You can't really hang it on the wall or anything, but it is a nice piece. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be faded, but my face is faded. She just clips onto the wall right there. It's a cool little reference to season 10. I think there's a reference to at least one episode from each season, which is pretty cool. Next we have the turkey. Obviously, Friends is known for its classic Thanksgiving episodes, so you gotta include a turkey or some reference to it. And you can't put this on their heads, but you can remove their head and put this on it. So, you know, there is that, and just recreate classic scenes with this. Next we have the long poking device, which I believe was made out of Chinese chopsticks from Takeout. They're using to poke the ugly naked guy with this, and you know, it works. It's just 4 of these little telescope pieces. It's kind of neat. I know where to put it again. And then lastly, we have Phoebe's dollhouse that's set on fire from, I believe, the 3rd season. Again, you can't really, you know, with how small it is, have any detail, but it's a pretty cool impression. And you know, they didn't need to include it, but they did, and that was pretty nice. So all in all, this set is actually really good, and I do feel it's worth the money. I was kind of hesitant at first to get this set, just because of the high price tag. It is $150, but I feel if you have the Central Perk set, and you are a Friends fan, or even if you don't have the Central Perk set, and you just like Friends, and you missed out on that, or, I don't know, you just really want this set, if you are a Friends fan, I would say get this. Even if you're not, just the builds for the apartments are good. You could just make this a generic apartment. You know, it doesn't have to be Monica's apartment, it doesn't have to be Joey's apartment. You could take all the Friends references out, and I still feel like this is, you know, good if you just wanted like a little Lego City build. That being said, if I had to nitpick it other than the sticker on the door, I would say the lack of bedrooms and bathrooms is a little disappointing, and that's mainly because we're not going to get another set. You know, they're not going to release Friends bedrooms and bathroom. I don't think they are. So it would have been nice to get those. It would have jacked the price up a bit, but you know, we're never going to get another chance. And there are iconic scenes that take place in said places. Now, I don't really give quote unquote, you know, like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. But if a 5 is average, I would probably give this an 8.5 or a 9. So, you know, good to great. Oops. So that is all for today. Thank you for watching this review. I hope that helped you either decide to get it, or hey, maybe just wanted to check out and see what it was like, Friends fan or not. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Farewell.